Welcome to Sakrete Pro Tips, how to patch a pothole in blacktop. Today we're going to demonstrate all three of Sakrete's blacktop patches, being Sakrete Blacktop Patch, All-Weather Blacktop Patch, and US Cold Patch. Availability of these products varies by region. Whenever you're going to fill a pothole, the first thing is you can't just let it be a bird bath. By that we mean make sure and chisel the sides so they're vertical. They're squared out edges like we've done here. This allows the patch material to have something to push against as you compact it into place. The second rule of thumb is when you're looking at what you want to repair, be it your driveway or a parking lot, if the pothole exceeds a 2 by 2 by 4, 2 foot by 2 foot by 4 inches deep, you probably need to call in an asphalt company to get their professional opinion. So with that said, let's fill some potholes. We've squared our edges. The next step is to clean out the holes before you patch. Just simply sweep them out. We've partially filled both potholes. Over here we have our blacktop patch. This is the traditional formulation. It's a little more oily in feel. This is what you typically think of when you say, hey, let's get some blacktop patch. Over here we've got our all-weather blacktop patch. As you can see, it's a drier material. It has low VOC, a lot less mess, a lot less tracking. So even though they're slightly different in formulation, the actual application technique is the same. We've put in about 2 inches. Then you're going to compact it down to 1 inch, and that's the layer. It's important to obey this rule because where people make mistakes is they put too much and don't compact enough. So when you're done, if it's still soft, resist the urge to think it's a product defect. Simply continue compacting. You continue that process layer after layer till you're at the top of your patch and you're done. It's time to tamp the product. Typically you would use a tamper. If the tamper head is larger than the patch hole, you're going to need to revert to a 4x4. The materials have been placed and compacted. Now it's time to simply repeat the steps. We're going to mound in 2 inches of both repair materials, compact back down to 1 inch. When we get it flush with the top, the project's complete. You saw me start the process by tamping with a 4x4, which I continued into the second layer. But if it's possible, when you get to the top and you've got it flattened around the edges of your repair, try switching to the actual tamper. The reason is you can get equal distribution of pressure with this steel head. Now the second thing here is don't think because you tamped it 3 times you're done. We're going to do a close-in shot. This material is starting to look just like the asphalt beside it in the actual driveway piece. We've compacted it to where we have aggregate interlock. On the edges here, I can still see distinct rock shape. I can press with my fingers and it still flexes. A lot more compaction has to happen over here. So the job's not done until you have a very tight pattern on the surface. We've finished these 2 blacktop patches. They're ready to release into traffic. As soon as it's done, you can drive on them. However, don't run your car back and forth on the patch thinking you're helping it. No additional compaction is created by that motion. If anything, you may end up messing up the patch. Lastly, if it's a hot day, if you're doing this in the summer, one last step is if it's tracking, if you feel like it's still sticky, just put a light amount of sand on it and that will help soak up the extra materials due to the heat. Sakrete US Cold Patch is our latest innovation to blacktop repair. Sakrete US Cold Patch is made from 95% recycled materials, one of the lowest VOC asphalt pothole repair products on the market, and proof is in the handling. There's no residue sticking into my hands. There's no smell. It's a much more environmentally friendly approach to pothole repair. Sakrete US Cold Patch is a completely different approach to blacktop repair in that, as you saw with the first two products, which are traditional in nature, you have to compact and compact and compact. US Cold Patch is designed, since there's no sticky residue, you mound it and then you're going to hit it with the shovel to start compacting and then drive over it with your car or truck, just back and forth to finish the compaction process. So with the new technology, your labor's cut way more than in half. Our pothole repairs have all been completed. Let's look at how we did it. We've got Sakrete Blacktop Patch in our first sample. Then we used all-weather blacktop patch on our second sample, and we ended it with Sakrete's latest innovation, US Cold Patch. Whichever patch you end up using, you're ready to roll.